Hey guys, Chicky DeMain, aka Deboo, Deboo.com with the Deboo.com surf forecast update. This forecast update effective around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, March 14th, 2015. And for those of you guys catching fun waves over the last couple of days, good on you. If you haven't had a chance to get wet yet, see what you can get between today, the rest of today, and tomorrow, as there are no guarantees in the upcoming forecast. There's still quite a bit of uncertainty that remains. We've got this first system getting ready to kick off the Northeast U.S. in the next 48 hours. We'll show you that here in just a second. Going to start you off here south of Greenland in a previous hurricane force low that has now put a solid west-southwest swell in here for the UK and a west-northwest swell aimed at Africa and part of that northerly surge heading towards Puerto Rico, and then what's showing up on the east coast of the United States yesterday and today. Now that northerly surge that started about 48 hours ago is now rotating east-southeast on the Canaveral buoy, so we'll see that change, but some of the fun surf conditions reported along the Florida East Coast this morning, compliments of that northerly fetch. Now you can see that this rotation of this area of low pressure south of Greenland in a counterclockwise direction is taking this and is going to suck it out into the Atlantic. This is part of that Gulf low and this clipper system that's moving in over the top of it. This Gulf low is going to scoot out, or what remnants of the Gulf low is going to scoot out ahead of it, and these two are going to combine into one. What's interesting to note is this is the other area of energy that's over in the northwest now. This is going to trail off towards the east, right behind this low that's developing, and models a few days ago were showing a double barrel low. Those of you who follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you saw our post, but because of the slow development of this, it looks like there's an opportunity for both of these to combine off the Northeast U.S. coast and then have a very large overall footprint. Now, the negative factor in that is that the storm now has become more circular, which is going to create more of a north-northwest fetch, which is bad news for East Coasters. We'll show you that in the models in just a minute, because there's another little scenario that has now popped up. We've had this area of low pressure over here back towards the Pacific. It's right here in the bottom left-hand corner of your image. And this afternoon's model run of the GFS wants to lift this up by about Wednesday and put it up over here by Texas. So basically what you're having here is south of Greenland, counterclockwise flow, sucking this out into the Atlantic. Another piece of energy over the northwest going to travel with it. This is going to set up here Monday, and then this is going to move up from Monday into Wednesday up in here towards Texas. Let's show you that in the models now. This is starting you off on Sunday, and then later in the afternoon, you can see that here's this piece of energy up in here that's out of the that little clipper system, and then here's the piece of energy of the Gulf low, and then they combine later on Sunday and then move out into the Atlantic on Monday. Monday showing a strong northwest flow, light winds over the southeast due to high pressure here. So this is going to create a northwest swell, and then later on Monday, more of a defined northwest swell, and there's not enough of this northeast fetch over open water to create that northeast ground swell that we were talking about. That's why it looks like this system is going to create a lot more northwest swell bypassing the east coast. Going out 72 hours on Tuesday, you can see that now a northwest to west flow has now set up east of the east coast of the United States. That's going to be a swell killer for whatever northerly flow or swell was generated by that previous northerly flow. Strong southwest fetch now aimed at the UK, Ireland, another shot at another large swell event coming for you. Going out to Wednesday, Here's where things get interesting. If you think you got robbed on this first one, East Coasters, here comes the chance to make it up, because look over here in the left side of this image. Here's that area of low pressure that we talked about moving up out of Mexico in here towards Texas. We're going to switch over to a different model format and take it from here, but you can see that on Wednesday, here we go with a strong northerly flow from the northeast states all the way down in here towards the Outer Banks, and then rotating into northeast along the Florida coast with an area of low pressure wanting to try and develop off the East Florida coast. Now let's switch you over to this new map format, and then here's that area of low pressure over Texas on Wednesday. Going to put that into motion for you, and as you can see, it starts to drift off over towards the Panhandle and then now off the Florida East Coast. Here it is on Friday, and an area of low pressure starting to try and develop here, weak, 1016 millibars, but this should enhance some east-southeast flow in here to the Georgia-Carolina coast, and as we move forward here, it kind of pushes it off, but here comes another area of low pressure moving in towards Texas. We'll speed it up a little bit, and you'll see that it picks up that low that's off the Florida coast. I'll bring it back. Off the Florida coast as it starts to sweep towards the northeast, and then a new storm develop on Sunday, March 22nd. And it's right after here that we see high pressure building back in with a strong northeast flow again aimed at the Florida East Coast. So this may be the next shot for some sizable surf. Nothing out of the question yet on this incoming storm over the next 48 hours. We'll have to see where it sets up, but it is trending that this swell, or the beginning of it, the next 48 hours is going to be more primarily an island swell event. That's all we got for you for now, guys. Stay tuned for the next update.